It's almost inconceivable to say it, isn't it? 7 games without victory, 6 defeats and 1 draw. Manchester City, yeah. Are you scratching your head, Danny? Because Pep is.
It looks, I mean, nobody saw this coming. Incredible. It's fascinating to watch. I think the last couple of games, you can see that Pep's overthinking it a bit. I thought his selection for the first time going out, that selection of the 4-4-1-1 and the players he put in that team on Sunday was absolutely gobsmacked me. It was very cautious, and they've got brilliant wingers sitting on the bench, and Liverpool's only vulnerability really is wide. And it damaged limitation, it looked like, with the selection. I didn't see what he was trying to do in terms of going the other way, and I've never seen that with a Pep team. So, look, he's had his issues. The reality is a lot of those players, even the senior boys, have not maintained fitness for a period of time where they can gain form. And, of course, even the best players on the planet, if you have 3 or 4 losses, you start doubting each other a little bit, confidence drops, it feels like everything's going against you. I've got no doubt that when the majority of the players are fit, I mean, when I say fit, I don't just mean available, I mean match fit.
But at the moment, they're vulnerable.
Yeah. And then you see greatness. I mean, we've seen City vulnerable, not to this level, but we've seen them have bad runs before and then go on brilliant runs. The only difference now is that, Rodri's not coming back. De Bruyne seems to be really struggling with his physicality, fitness, because he's not starting, even though he's been on the bench for a month. And you've got people like Diaz, Ake aren't at the levels they were at because they haven't played enough games. They're trying to catch up minutes. Kyle Walker was rushed back a few weeks ago, didn't train for a couple of weeks and went straight into a game at Bournemouth. So all these things, all these little things add up. I say this, they haven't won in 7. I can't see them not winning tonight.
I know, but... No,
they've got 2. As long as he puts some of those attacking, you got Doku back now. Savinho's got the pace and skill. I know he's a young player, but Grealish is back. I'd be really surprised.
I look at this. It could go either way. I've got to be honest, Simon. I think the bookies make it 10-3 on for City.
Yeah, I mean, I think that eventually it'll settle.
Cream rises.
And Man City, like Danny says. I mean, look, if Pep Guardiola doesn't know, then it's less likely that we're going to know the reasons why his team isn't gelling, because if he knew, they'd be fixing it. But I think the opposition he's played against don't give him a pass. But it's all very attacking opposition that would go at Man City as a matter of course. Brighton play that way. Tottenham play that way. Bournemouth play that way. Fine, Liverpool most certainly play that way. So you look at the games, and whilst you don't expect Man City to come out of them having got beaten all of them, you can understand to some extent if they're vulnerable, they've lost their stability. The one thing that they will get challenged by is sides that are very offensive-minded, that play a particular brand of football. Now, Palace don't play that brand of football, and I'm not sure Nottingham Forest do. So it might settle for them better tonight against a side that doesn't have quite the poise that, say, a Brighton has or a Liverpool has. Or even, I mean, the one result that probably is the worst of them all, despite the scoreline being 4-0 against Tottenham, is being 3-0 up against Feyenoord. And not being able to close that game out because you are in control of the game then. The other games you weren't in control of.
And also, contrary to belief, a lot of talk about, I know they've struggled for goals recently, but they, in a lot of those games, whether it be Lisbon, Brighton, Tottenham, not so much Liverpool, of course, but Feyenoord, they scored 3. In those other games I mentioned, they made Brighton first half, they could have been 3 or 4 up. Sporting Lisbon, they had a multitude of chances in the first half. Tottenham could have been 2 up after 10 minutes. It seems like, and then you concede and the confidence drains, and all of a sudden there's a bit of panic and anxiety.
Yeah.
They've got too much quality for this to continue.
We shall see. Nottingham Forest going to try and carry on where others have succeeded of late and do a job in Manchester City. You're listening to Jim White, Simon Jordan and Danny Murphy on talkSPORT with Selco Builders Warehouse, where the trade go.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.